If I haven't blown my head off, if I haven't killed myself in 5 years, you know, I'd like to have my doctorate. Um, I'd like to be working with other veterans that have gone through things that I've gone through. I've experienced a lot of trauma in my life. I've known a lot of death, unfortunately, and I had these events that caused me to have PTSD. But being an African American in America in itself was a form of trauma. The first time I personally knew racism, I was in this school. I was the only black. We had this one kid, Rodney, I think was his name. He was the class prankster. The teacher went on a break, and these teachers back then, they used to sit on these. I always remember I used to want one of these so bad. These green cushions. It had the webbing on it. These green cushions. Rodney thought it'd be a good idea to put these tacks under it. He very carefully unzipped it and he put these tacks under it. His teacher comes back in, sits down on it, jumps up, screams, ah! The whole class busts out laughing. Teacher's enraged. Who did this? Who did it? Who did it? And she's trying to figure it out. Then she came to me, did you do this? And I said, no, I didn't. She asked, well, who did it? She wants me to rat. You don't rat. I got two opposing, things going here. And so I refused to say. She says, you know who did it. You know who did it. And I wouldn't say. And her eyes, it's like in my child's mind, I can see these red eyes, blood, just like she's looking at me, and she says, "You lying nigger, you did that." This was a teacher. I was in third grade. I was never the same. My life was never the same. At that, I never knew, I was the prince of the family. I was the youngest, my mama's favorite. But in that moment, I was less than human, and I knew it. I never, not for a second, lose sight of the fact that I'm a black man. Never. It's always with me. Every moment, every waking moment, I'm aware that I'm a black guy. I'm talking to you right now. I'm a black guy talking to a white man who has a PhD and he got a camera in my face and he's looking for a story. I'm a black guy. I'm not just a man sitting here. I'm not just a man that's trying to get an education. I'm a black man trying to get an education. Where's on you? Where's on you? I was on an aircraft carrier, USS Constellation, CV-64. I loved it. It was great. I was lying at attention. I was the only one in the brig at the time, and this Marine guard, he came in there, and with the 9mm gun, shoved it in my mouth, and told me it was time. He proceeded to rape me. And for the next 50 so days, he raped me every day. He'd beat me up. He'd rape me. When I'd sleep, sometimes when he wasn't on duty, he'd find new sadistic ways to wake me up and terrorize me. I could be talking to a person, and depending on what that person's affect is, like I could see that guy, I could see that teacher, and they're there. They're just sitting right there in front of me. And it's like you get this tunnel vision. Everything around you just kind of blurs, and you're transported back in time, back in space, and you're back in that moment. You're that child that was violated. You're that young man that was violated again, and your whole body feels it. The pain, the fear, the sweats, the nervousness, the terror. It's all right there, and the person in front of you is now this other person. Clicking sounds, like even something as simple as the lighter flicking, it would remind me of what it sounds like when you pull back the hammer on a gun, and someone can make that simple sound. Like, what the hell, what was that? I feel things a lot. I overfeel things. I feel like I'm a raw nerve. Sometimes. And it's destroyed many relationships. I've been married twice. Don't have the best relationship with my kids. Don't have an excellent relationship with myself most of the time. When I would do job interviews and meetings and things like this, I'd have to scout out the places. I'd have to find out where it's going to be, what the room looks like, what the seating arrangements were going to be. And if I could, which I always found a way to do it, I would manipulate the seating in such a way that there's a clear path between me and the door, with no one or nothing in between me and the door. That goes back to when I was in the brig. The way the brig was arranged, they had me, this guard, when he would come in, he was between me and the door, between me and the main door. It wasn't like a cell door, it was a regular door, and he was always between me and that damn door. And I guess I always had the thought that if I could have run out that door, maybe I could have escaped. I don't know if I can heal. I want to, and I ask myself that all the time. I ask myself if I'll ever be completely whole, and I don't know. Today I'm not completely. I put on a pretty good show, but I can't let anybody too close to me else they'll see the truth. I'm broken. But I don't know if I can heal. I want to heal, but I really don't know.